All right, let's talk about Web3. You're probably seeing that term pop up everywhere, right? So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and really break down what it is and why it might just be the next big thing for the internet.
I mean, think about it. You use the internet every single day. It's totally central to our lives. But it's not static, right? It's always changing. So, what is the next chapter? What's coming next?
Okay, so let's dive into that. This brings us to what many are calling the next chapter of the internet. So, what is Web3? Well, at its core, it's all about a decentralized internet. Think about it this way. Right now, a few giant companies basically run the show from their massive server farms. Web3 wants to flip that on its head. The idea is to build the web on peer-to-peer networks instead. And the whole point, the big takeaway, is to give you, the user, way more control over your own data and your online experience. Okay, a quick but important point here. You might hear people say Web 3.0 and think it's the same thing. Super common mix-up, but they're actually different. Web 3.0 is more of an academic idea about a smarter, semantic web that computers can understand better. The Web 3 we're talking about today, that's all about decentralization and giving power back to the users. Two different paths.
All right, so how does this whole thing actually work? It can sound pretty complicated, I get it, but it really boils down to a few key pieces of tech working together. Let's pop the hood and take a look. So you can think of Web3 as having this tech stack, this engine that makes it all run. We're talking about four main components. Blockchain, of course, then you've got artificial intelligence and machine learning, the Internet of Things, and something called decentralized storage. Let's break down what each one does.
First up, the absolute foundation, blockchain. The easiest way to think about it is like a super secure shared digital ledger, or a rule book that everyone can see but no one can change. This is what makes things like smart contracts possible. Basically, agreements that run themselves without needing a middleman like a bank or a lawyer. It's all about direct, transparent interaction.
Okay, so you've got the blockchain foundation. Now you layer on top of that some intelligence with AI and machine learning. These are the algorithms that can sift through all that data, automate tasks, and create really smart, personalized experiences for you, but, and this is key, without one single company owning and controlling that algorithm.
Next, we need to connect this digital world to our physical one, and that's where the Internet of Things, or IoT, comes in. We're talking about the network of all your connected devices, your smartwatch, your car, sensors in a factory. In a Web3 world, these devices could securely talk to each other and even exchange value on the blockchain, all on their own.
And the last piece of the puzzle is, where does all this data actually go? Right now, it's on a server owned by Google or Amazon. In Web3, the idea is to use decentralized storage. So instead of one company's server farm, your data is broken up and spread across a massive network of computers all over the world. This makes it way more secure and resilient. No single company can just decide to delete it. See how those four pieces fit together to create a totally different kind of internet.
Okay, that was the how. We've looked at the tech. Now for the so what. Let's really compare this new vision to the internet we're all using right now, what we call Web 2. This is where you see the fundamental shift.
And wow, when you put them side by side, the difference is night and day. In Web 2, that's today's internet. Control is centralized. Big platforms own our data. The whole model is often based on ads. But in Web 3, the vision is completely different. Control is decentralized. You are supposed to control your data. The platforms are more open, and value can be shared through things like crypto tokens. It's a move from a few big players driving everything to a whole ecosystem of innovators.
So if you're going to remember one thing from all this, let it be this. The whole entire point of Web3, the big idea, is a massive shift from corporate control to user control. That's it. That's the promise right at the heart of this whole thing.
Okay, so this sounds pretty good in theory, right? User control, decentralization, but what does that actually look like in the real world? Why should you care? Let's get into some of the real-world impacts this could have.
The potential here is honestly huge, and it could touch so many industries. In finance, you have DeFi, or decentralized finance, which lets people borrow and lend without needing a bank. In healthcare, imagine having true ownership and control over your own medical data. For supply chains, it could mean total transparency. You could scan a product and see its entire journey. For artists and creators, it's a way to monetize their work directly without a platform taking a huge cut. And it could even change how companies are run with these things called DAOs, which are like online co-ops run by their members.
So when you add it all up, the dream of Web3 is pretty ambitious.
It's not just about cool new tech. The goal is to build a more transparent, more equitable, and more empowering internet. But, and this is a really big but, we are not there yet, not even close.
Because for all the hype and promise, the path to making Web3 a reality is absolutely packed with massive hurdles and challenges that we have to be realistic about. Okay, time for a reality check. There are some serious problems to solve. Scalability is a big one. Many of these networks are still slow and expensive to use. Governments are still trying to figure out how to regulate all this, so there's a ton of uncertainty. Let's be honest, the user experience is often super complicated and not friendly for beginners at all. Then you got huge question marks around security, the environmental footprint of some of these technologies, and just the massive educational gap. Most people don't even know what this is yet.
And that really sums up the tension at the heart of Web3 right now. You have this incredible promise to empower people, but that promise just can't be fulfilled until these fundamental issues of scale, security, and just plain old usability get sorted out. So that's where we are. And it leaves us with the biggest question of all. Is Web3 really going to build that more open, more fair internet for everybody? Or will all of these challenges and the sheer complexity of it all mean it just stays a cool, niche idea for the tech-savvy? Honestly, the next chapter of the internet is still being written, and it's anyone's guess how it will turn out.